Labor's resurgence in the opinion polls under Kevin Rudd continues today with the first Nielsen poll since his return as Prime Minister, showing the two parties neck and neck.
Labor's primary voters soared 10 points since the last poll, and on a two-party comparison, it's now at 50-50. So for the details, take us through all of the numbers. We'll go live to Canberra to our chief political reporter, Kieran Gilbert. Hi again, Kieran.
Nina, morning, Michael. There have been 10 national opinion polls since the Rudd return, and averaged out there, they show that the two major parties are 50-50, and that's right in line with today's Nielsen poll. The primary vote up to 39%. That's a 10-point jump since Kevin Rudd's return, and on a two-party basis, once preferences are taken into consideration, it's neck and neck. On the preferred Prime Minister rating, Kevin Rudd has turned the tables on Tony Abbott. Mr Abbott had built up quite a healthy lead over Julia Gillard. Well, Kevin Rudd now has a 14-point lead over Tony Abbott as preferred Prime Minister. That's reflected in his approval rating as well, up over 50%. Tony Abbott, his approval rating just 41%. And on some key attributes like competence, vision for Australia, economic management, foreign policy, Kevin Rudd has got a significant lead in all of those, 10 points or more. Now, Mr Abbott was asked about today's poll. He was on the Nine Network's Today show a bit earlier.
My instinct is that what they're really doing is showing their relief at the departure of an unpopular Prime Minister. And look, we're a fair-minded people. We're prepared to give someone a fair go. But I think what we'll discover is that he's the same old Kevin Rudd, and conclude that he had his chance before and he blew it.
Kevin Rudd is in Port Moresby. He arrived there last night. A quick visit, trade and economic ties on the agenda, as well as the issue of border protection and asylum seekers. The Australian newspaper reports today that the government's looking at striking a deal with PNG for that country to take many of the economic migrants, which the government believes are forming the majority of the asylum seeker arrivals that we've seen in recent times. After Port Moresby, Mr Rudd heads to Townsville. Our political reporter Tom Connell is there. Morning, Tom.
Good morning again, Kieran. Well, yeah, just talking about that PNG trip, I should say. An interesting turn of events, because yesterday in Cairns, Kevin Rudd was downplaying even the discussions about asylum seekers with the PNG Prime Minister Peter O'Neill, but we've since found out Tony Burke, the Immigration Minister, a late addition to that trip. So we'll wait and see what happens out of that. Of course, he is coming here to Townsville afterwards. He'll be arriving later on today, likely to be visiting the seat of Herbert. That's one Labor believes it can win now in Queensland, a real sign of their growing ambition. They're looking at gaining seats rather than potentially just saving some of their losses, which we knew they were doing as little or as recently as a month ago. He'll head further south from here afterwards, continue the so-called Queensland Blitz. It's certainly been campaign mode from Kevin Rudd. He'll be down in central Queensland and also in Community Cabinet in Rockhampton, so facing a few voters there, no doubt talking about his plans with the carbon tax and potentially with asylum seekers. But certainly the Kevin Rudd show rolls on in Queensland. They're a parochial bunch. The day after he took back the Prime Ministership, the front page of the Courier Mail said "We rule" in reference to Kevin Rudd being a Queenslander and taking back the Prime Ministership and also the state of origin. So they see that as a bit of a sporting contest, and Kevin Rudd clearly trying to cash in on that Queensland pride.
Tom Connell, thanks for that. And Nina and Michael, Kevin Rudd will be giving Peter O'Neill, the PNG Prime Minister, just touching on what Tommy said there, a state of origin jersey, a Queensland jersey with O'Neill on the back. They do love their rugby league up there.
Sure do. Kieran Gilbert in Canberra, thank you.